the Federal Capital Development Council has been fingered over land and housing racketeering in the Federal Capital Territory. These findings were revealed on Wednesday during a one-day public hearing by the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on the Operations of Real Estate Developers in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The reports. According to available statistics on housing in Federal Capital Territory, the nation's capital has about ₦1 trillion investments in the sector. Unfortunately, the investments in the housing sector have been overshadowed by activities of fraudsters, with the active participation of staff of the Federal Capital Development Authority, who somehow connive with fraudulent estate developers to dupe unsuspecting Nigerians. The House of Representatives had on the 25th of June passed a resolution to sanitize the sector by inaugurating an ad hoc committee to investigate the real estate developers in the FCT and their operations following countless petitions from victims.
The current housing deficit in Nigeria, which is estimated to be between 17 and 20 million housing units, and also said to be increasing annually by about 900,000 units, the potential cost of overcoming this deficit is also put at about 6 trillion naira. This highlights the huge opportunity that exists in the real estate sector. However, there are gaps in the relevant legislation that empowers some real estate developers while they capitalize on this opportunity to also operate with impunity, sometimes subverting the dreams and billions of naira of hard-working Nigerians. Lack of accountability and regulation in the dealings between these real estate developers and home buyers have caused a lot of hardships to many already struggling Nigerians who desire to own their own houses. It is therefore our responsibility to introduce an effective regulation to resolve these issues all over.
Work with relevant stakeholders and ministries, departments and agencies of government towards formulating laws, issuing guidelines or other appropriate legislation and regulations for more than ₦1 trillion sector. Liaise with relevant NDAs to revisit the issue of compiling a database on property transactions and newly approved developments, while also ensuring that real estate developers are duly licensed before engaging in the practice.
The Chairman Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, who through the petitions before the Commission and the EFCC singled out some unscrupulous FCDA staff who aid the fraudsters with classified documents to perpetrate the wholesome practice.
Efforts should be made towards improving transparency in mass housing projects by providing workable evaluation mechanism to eliminate corruption generally that dog these schemes. Government should, and as I've said earlier on, at least the current minister has made the effort towards creating data banks of stakeholder experiences, information sharing, in order to educate people who aspire to own land and to facilitate quicker assimilation and dissemination of best practices among stakeholders, while also ensuring that identified critical success factors are adequately considered. Related to this is that I think it is very important that the FCT and the agencies under it must make sure that they reduce the opportunity for their own staff in collaboration with outsiders to clone documents that lead to defrauding of innocent members of the public, including honest real estate developers. Because we have a number of cases whereby the original of certificates of occupancy or land title documents are released to fraudsters and criminals temporarily in order to deceive investors. And after that deceit is effected, the documents are returned to the file. The documents are returned to the file. This cannot happen unless somebody on the inside has colluded.
The Minister of the FCT promised to accept whatever recommendation that will sanitize operations of FCDA.
I hope the public hearing today will be able to look at all these issues across the entire value chain, including all the issues raised by the chairman of ICPC, so that at the end of the day, the committee will guide us through its robust conclusion of the discussions here, so that I think ultimately the whole objective is a way forward, so that we do not lose track of the real reason why the entire policy of mass housing was initiated by my predecessors, because I think it's still a very good policy. We just need to look at where we have challenges, and then we move on.
Estate developers, civil society groups, the police, and other stakeholders were all present at the hearing.